What's going on, man? It's good to see everybody. Man, tell you what, college football season's back. Blue Raiders get a chance to kick it off, so extremely excited about where we are. Right now it's been a good camp. And our guys, we've been able to stay fairly healthy throughout camp. Um, but again, it is the kickoff to the college football season. We get a chance to start this thing off in Floyd Stadium, August 30th, 6 p.m., Austin Peay, whiteout. That, that thing's going to be fun. Never done one before. So this is Team 111. Team 111 really speaks to, the history of this program. We've been around a long time. So with that being said, these guys, again, have prepared well. We face a good opponent in Austin Peay, Coach Ferris, heading into his second season. He understands what he's got to do in his program, and we understand what we need from our program. So these first games generally are about making sure that you play a clean ball game. Sort of Murphy's Law in these first games. What can happen will happen. So, we've worked all camp just on the quality and consistency of how we prepare and how we practice. Because when you can win days, it gives you an opportunity to put together opportunities for consistency like I'm talking about, and we believe that leads to success. But again, I can't tell you how excited I am to be back in year two with a group of players that I truly believe now understand not only what the expectations of them are, but really understand each other. That's important. That's important. Man, we have team chemistry. Man, we've got a different ball club with some veteran leadership. When you talk about Nick Vadiato, when you talk about Parker Hughes, these are guys that have been around MTSU for a long time, and with their leadership, level of consistency of showing up, doing the work, and being about the process, this team is now prepared to go play a game. We're tired of hitting each other. It's time to go hit somebody else. So with that, I'll open it up for questions.
Mentally, where do you all think you all are at with assessing just offense, defense, and even special teams? I know you have all new guys on your special teams, but assessing your mental state heading into this first game.
Yeah, as I look at where we are right now, I feel good about it, right? I think every coach does. You don't know what you have until you start playing. A year ago, I made some assumptions, shouldn't have made. And really what you have to do is just let these guys go play. Again, I want to play a clean game. They want to play a clean game. As you've watched college football, in the opening week, a lot of mistakes. More games lost than won. Really what it comes down to. So, for us, this group is worked hard, but now what we get a chance to do, prepare 5 more days, and then put ourselves in a position to go play, a worthy opponent right there in Floyd Stadium.
Coach, can you talk about how much you've stressed to the players setting the tone? Last
Yeah.
year when you played Tech, it was a struggle, and that kind of set the tone for the season. So talk about getting off to a good start, no matter what the score is.
Well, we got off to a fast start versus Tech last year. It wasn't that we didn't get off to a fast start. It didn't end well, right? And I think the idea of having to come back in that ball game, showed some gaps and some holes in who we were, but. Right now, like for this team, I told them in order to find success, you're gonna have to do it in a bunch of different ways. I think the biggest thing now is that we have to be resilient. We have to get back to the middle. We got to make sure that no matter what happens, because again, Murphy's Law is always prevalent, right? It's always present. So what we got to do is just make sure that we play our game. We work hard to take care of the football, minimize the mistakes when it comes to penalties. Because in that ball game, that first ball game, man, we were so penalized and hurt ourselves so much with so many self-inflicted wounds in that ball game that I thought it sort of gave Tennessee Tech life. So with that being said, we just got to be about the things that we know matter: taking care of the football, minimizing the penalties, and playing tough physical football. If we can do that, it's going to be a good day.
Coach, looking at Austin Peay, they lost a ton of production last year. So how do you guys scout a team that there's not really a lot out there to scout?
Yeah. Good coaches find good players. Coach Ferris is a good coach. Okay, man, he's been doing this for a minute, and they went went into the transfer portal. I mean, they brought in some JUCO talent. I think for them, they're going to have guys that can make plays. We won't know, so what we have to do is adapt and adjust. You get on the football field, and what you start to see is a guy who can run real fast, or a receiver who can get big, or a quarterback. Since they have two, with Austin Smith and Chris Parsons, they've got some running QBs. So we just got to figure out exactly what it's going to be in game. And nowadays, that's what the game is about: making in-game adjustments to figure out exactly how you're being attacked and what strategies can we employ or deploy to make sure that we can minimize some of these actions, because there's going to be some things that we just haven't seen.
You touched on it in your opening statement, but you guys are really excited to be back at Florida Stadium for Game 1. Just after the hard work in the offseason from you, coaching staff, and the players, how exciting is it to go out there and play someone else besides yourself?
Yeah, I mentioned it before. I'll tell you, it's been competitive. It's been combative and competitive, which is good. We talk about the ABCs, always be competing, right? And that's what this campus felt like. It's felt like give and take on both sides. There's been some days where, offense has gotten after the defense, defense gotten after the offense, and special teams seems like it's been consistently showing up. We've got a bunch of new guys in the kick game, right? So there's some things there that we believe need to show themselves. But overall, just ready to play somebody different. Just need to get on the field, go click clack, and let's see what this first game brings us. Because right now, I mean, if you ask these guys, or when you ask them, these guys will tell you they're tired of chirping at each other.
Last year, a common theme that you kept bringing up was sudden change and executing in those situations.
Yeah.
You have, like you said, facing two quarterbacks who have maybe been in college for a couple years but haven't played in as many games. How opportunistic and mentally prepared do you have to be to create sudden change in a game like this?
Yeah, well, situational football, again, is always going to show itself. 2-minute always shows up in football. Red zone football is something that we got to be aware of. This team is good, with their short passing game, and they're going to have some QB run, right? So, just looking at how to get these guys off the field and understanding, too, that they're going to have an explosive player, too. So we've just got to make sure that we get back to the middle, play fast, play physical, and make sure that we can minimize explosives as best we can.
Coach, how much smarter is Derek Mason going into year 2 at Middle Tennessee State than he was coming? Because you said you made some assumptions. So how much smarter are you this year, Coach?
Yeah, much smarter, right? A lot of new year ago. I mean, even staff members. So with that being said, we've had a year's time, a year's worth of lessons to learn from, and what we've tried to do is lean on the experience of both coaches and players to understand exactly where we need to go. I think for us, the camp was productive. I thought we were physical when we needed to be physical. I thought we backed it off when we needed to back it off. It just felt different, all the way around. I think how we've handled our guys this year, it feels different for them. It's more player-led than coach-led, right now. And I think for me, that part feels good, because we can talk about the things that we need to talk about. If I got something to say, I say it to our leadership, and then we keep it moving. So I think those experiences from a year ago have helped set the table for where we need to go now. Is it all flushed? No, it's not all flushed. I think what you do is you learn from week to week, but what we've been able to do is learn how to trust the process and trust each other. And I think that part of it has helped us manage, sort of map out, and really move forward with what we believe is good Blue Raider football.
So embracing the Derek Mason way, you feel like you've got some good kids. Obviously, if you're player-led, that's what you want, embracing your way.
That's right. I think that's really what it comes down to. The 49 players that we retained, simply, they just know how to do it. They walk into the building every day, with the mindset of winning, right? And that permeates. When you have, older guys, or you have guys who've been here before, guys are looking to the right or to the left to figure out then exactly what do they do. Well, I got guys that just grab them. They're not just showing them, but just grabbing them and just bringing them along. And that part of it's been the fun part. As we moved into a new building, a lot of new around this place, from building to just our schedule. Now everything just feels right. So right now, good headspace. Just got to keep it moving.
All right, at this time we got a question on Zoom from Jeremy Kellum. Go ahead, Jeremy.
How you doing, Coach? Jeremy Kellum. You coming into last year, you talked about, just observing the conference and realizing the teams that people tend to run the ball, which running the ball is important, but just visiting on fan day, I realized how big the team is, especially in skill position, 6'1", 6'2", 6'3". I'm looking at the basketball team, but
Right.
obviously it was intentional, but do you believe that's what it takes to have that type of size, that skill position to compete and win the championship this year?
Well, football's a line scrimmage game. You've heard me say that before, but it doesn't hurt when you can get some size and speed outside. And I think that's what we went and did. We went and got size and speed outside, as well as revamping some of our offensive front. So looking at how these guys have competed in fall camp, we do play above the rim. I like that part of it. We can't get big. And these dudes, again, we've given our quarterback some targets. We do feel like our run game, has been able to benefit from the physicality that these receivers bring on the outside, as well as like the tight end position. Tavion Galloway, Hunter Tipton, Evan Pottinger, all these guys right now. I like where we sit with these skill. The big skill, the running backs. We've got a talented group. Everybody's got talent. Now what we got to do is just show some production.
You've been pretty open about the areas you wanted to improve in. How intentional are you when going about making those corrections in practice from spring and into the fall?
Yeah, for us, we've got to get better every day. And so again, I go back to something that I said earlier, like quality of the reps, consistency of the play. That's all I'm talking about in practice. Okay, I'm looking at so many small things. Last year, I was trying to oversee, like big things, right? Right now, I'm looking at so many details of it. How we run to the ball, how we communicate. All those things matter, like right now. These guys know how to play football. I think the bigger thing is how do we maximize the performance and minimize the mistakes. So it's about details. It's about the little things, and I'm just looking at little things right now.
During the offseason, it's been a main conversation of your offensive line. You've brought in a lot of new guys, a lot of depth. But last year, you had 9 different starting lineups in 2024 with your offensive line. How do you think the consistency overall is going to help, especially with Nick Battiato in the pocket?
Yeah, consistency helps. That room is competitive. We've seen the likes of, Mateo, okay, and, Ellis Adams is finally healthy, which is great. But, Jacob Otts has been phenomenal. To be able to see him line up and take every snap, okay, like since he's been here. Hadn't missed a day. That's the level of consistency that you're looking for, right? Obviously, as I look at the offensive line, I know we're probably going to play anywhere from 8 to 10 guys, and I think the starting group is going to show itself. I think what you got to do throughout the season is work hard to stay healthy. But they've had a great camp. I think it's been physical. The starting 5, we hope, is the starting 5 all year. And with that being said, they've been able to develop some chemistry. It's starting to look the way it needs to look. So now what we got to do is go play a game, get through it, and keep it going for I guess 8 Saturdays and some Wednesdays kicked in there, or 10 Saturdays or 9 Saturdays and some Wednesdays kicked in there.
Any more questions for Coach? Thanks, Coach.
I appreciate y'all. Let's go Blue.
All right, guys, now it's time for our student athletes. We've got Nicholas Battiato and Parker Hughes, and we'll get started with Nick.
Morning.
Okay. It's your 33rd game in the blue and white, but what are you most looking forward to, other than possibly, hopefully, taking home a win? But what are you most looking forward to walking on the turf this Saturday?
Just to play football. I think, since the last game of last season, the only thing that everyone wants to do is get back on the field in a competitive manner. And, we've had a great fall camp, a lot of competition, a lot of guys who've put in the work day in and day out. And, we've given the defense a lot of good work, and they've given us a lot of good work. And now I think it's time that everyone's kind of ready to go play a different team. And I know those guys on the defense are ready to go hunt and play hard and physical. I was just talking to Parker about it, like he's ready to go hit someone and probably actually hit a quarterback for once now. But no, we're excited. We're really excited, and we're ready as well. So.
Nick, I know we've talked about the new building several times over the last few weeks, but how is it going to feel coming out of this building onto the field for the first time Saturday? You got the whiteout and all that going on as well, opening game. Talk about just the excitement factor.
Yeah, it's gonna feel amazing. Guys are excited. Even when we did our mock game on Thursday, where we kind of went through the process of pregame, and we put on the jerseys and we walked out the tunnel, and that's when you kind of start to feel it. Like, all right, first game's right around the corner. Everything's starting to feel real, and I think that guys are really excited and itching to get out there and play that first game, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Nick, even though you've had the full offseason to gel with your new receivers, do you think maybe Saturday comes with some learning curves when you're playing a different team than the defense you've been facing all offseason?
Yeah, of course. I think the first game, you heard Coach Mason say it just earlier, the week one will always bring the mistakes, and that's really what will win or lose you a game in week one is who's not going to make a mistake. And I think when you're in practice or you're just out there throwing routes with the receivers, you have time to talk through things like, hey, run it like this, run it like that, on the sideline during practice, you're like, all right, hey, we just got this look in the first period. Now when we go into the next period and they're going to show us this, maybe we could try this. Now when you get into a game setting, everything's sped up, right? You're out there, you have a drive, and the goal of that drive is to score points, and you have to be able to respond to what the defense is showing you and what they're giving you. So that communication on the sideline with the receivers and with the rest of the offense is going to be really key. But, I think we have a lot of smart guys and a lot of good coaches, and I think that's really going to help us, and we just have to communicate with each other, and we'll be good.
With that being said, you guys have a revamped offensive line, several good skill players. What's the expectation for this offense in 2025?
Score points. I think Coach Reeder has made it very, very clear. There's not a ton of words he uses, but scoring points. And he kind of quantified it by saying, we want to score 35 points a game. Now, obviously, we want to go out there and we want to score more than 35 a game, but Coach Reeder has put a clear expectation on us that our job as an offense is to be explosive, is to be physical, is to be tough, and we are going to go out there and our job is to score points. And if we don't score points, then we're not doing our job. So that is the expectation.
Nick, we've asked you about the receivers, the offensive line. I guess we might as well get the running backs out of the way too. I've got Jaquel coming back. Looking to be the lead guy, but kind of some new complementary guys to go along with him. How do they kind of complement each other and help you out as a quarterback?
Yeah, I think Jaquel is a one-of-one running back. His instincts are amazing, second to none. He kind of does it all. He's amazing carrying the ball. He's great out the backfield. You could split him out at receiver, and he'll do amazing things. He's great in protection, very smart. And I think his leadership in that room has grown. I think his leadership when it comes to helping the younger guys like Austin Clemens and our true freshmen like DJ Taylor and Brooklyn Davis. I think those are some guys you'll see, maybe at some flashes some point this year, and I think what they have is really good. And then you add Ricky Hunt, who transferred to us, bringing some experience and some knowledge into that room, and I think that's a really well-rounded room. They have a great coach in Coach Lowry, and they always come ready to play, and they play hard. And it doesn't matter what they're asked to do, if it's in protection, if it's running the ball, if it's catching the ball at the backfield. They're always on it, and I'm really excited to watch those guys play.
I know whenever talking to Coach Reeder, he's really wanted you to step up vocally this year. You've been a leader for the past 4 years, but for you just really making sure that you're vocalizing what you need from your teammates. Mm-hmm. How has that been for you, especially coming out of fall camp and just learning overall what makes you a better quarterback?
Oh, it's been good. I think it's something as a leader that I've kind of learned and I've grown into throughout my time. I've seen a lot of good leaders come before me, and I've tried to take different things that I've seen them do, and I've kind of applied it to myself and understand how I can do it, so I'm not coming off as fake in a way. I think that's really important as a leader, that you're being yourself. If you're being something you're not, guys are going to see right through it, and I think it's important that you have to stay true to who you are. So I think when it comes to being vocal, you have to understand how to talk and when to talk. Being a vocal leader isn't just yelling at a guy or being loud. just to do it. You know, a lot of guys won't receive it if they think it's not real. So I think the best thing to do is you got to understand who you're talking to. You know, I'm one human talking to another human, so sometimes it's best to just pull a guy aside and talk to him privately, and then sometimes it's better, you know, if there's something that needs to be said, you know, you gather up the offense as a whole and you kind of tell, hey guys, like that's not our expectation, like we need to be better, and then you also uplift guys on the back end of it. So if like guys are doing something good, like you make sure you're vocal about that too, and I think it creates a good environment. I think it creates a healthy environment, and I think it helps grow other leaders. So I think that's something that we've done a really good job, and not only myself, but the defensive side as well with Parker and Buck. I think they do a really good job of that as well.
One more building question. Just kind of give some examples of how having this building is manifested into more efficiency in your daily work.
Yeah, I think if you look at it just from the simple fact of like watching film, for instance, right, is like our locker room's on the first floor, weight room's on the first floor, training room's on the first floor. You come in the building at the beginning of the day, you practice, you got your stuff in there. Your second floor is all the meeting rooms, right? So you get out of practice, you go straight upstairs, you can watch film whenever you want. You go to class, you come back to the same building, you could watch film, you're taking your notes. If you need to go to coach's office and ask him a question, it's on the same floor, it's right around the corner. So it eliminates a lot of like the running around and like, like last year, for instance, like we met in the press box, right? So before Coach Mason got everyone iPads, like if you wanted to watch film, you were kind of just sitting in the locker room watching film on your phone. And I think that, you know, now that we have the access to our meeting rooms and to our coaches, you know, all in one space, it kind of creates a really good learning environment. You know, guys are able to come in and watch film at their own time and their own pleasure, especially with classes starting. So it just kind of creates a really efficient environment, and I think guys have really enjoyed it.
Any more questions for Nick? All right, Nick, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Our guys now, linebacker Parker Hughes.
Parker, just kind of talk a little bit about where you feel like you guys are right now. You got new faces, some guys who have stepped up and who you expect to play well on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, we got, like you said, a lot of new faces. But guys you don't see like working is like Alex Mitchell. I mean, guys who, you know, he just transferred here. He's going to be big for us this year, you know. And you hear about Buck, you know, he works hard every single day. But at the end of the day, you know, these guys got to step up and play just like all of us. And there'll be a lot of guys you won't see names preseason that'll be big for us, like Corey Smith. And guys in that front D line have done a great job, but yeah.
Austin Peay wise, what have you seen from them? What have you been assessing from them that might be a challenge for you on the defensive side?
Yeah, I mean, we got to account for the quarterback. They got 2 stud quarterbacks, and anytime the quarterback can run the ball, I mean, that can break you as a defense. So, yeah, just being accounted for the quarterback, that's something we got to look into.
Parker, how tough is it on a defense coming into an opening game season and not knowing what to prepare for, especially with a team like Austin Peay where you don't really know a lot of the guys and how they play together?
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to the simple fact that we just got to play our brand of football. I mean, we play with our hair on fire. No matter who we're playing, the same intensity as a defense has got to stay. So, I mean, we want to be physical and aggressive anytime we step out there. So, I mean, yeah, we don't have the film on guys because they got a lot of new transfers and stuff, but we're still going to play the way we play.
Parker, as you mentioned, they've got 2 pretty good quarterbacks, one of which is Chris Parson, who's really talented but kind of inexperienced. How do you guys, as a defense, take advantage of that?
Yeah, I mean, he's a talented guy. Like I said, like he can run the ball, so we got to be accounted for, you know, counters and the read plays. You know, you got to have somebody accounted for that guy so he doesn't break you. But, yeah, he's a good player. I mean, like I said, if we just do what we do, we'll be good.
One of their returning players, Corey Richardson, who averaged over 6 yards per carry last year, he's back. What do you guys need to do as a front seven to, you know, kind of neutralize his ability?
Yeah, I mean, we talk about building a wall, so that's something that we work on every practice. I mean, 9 on 7, we're doing that, working on building a wall. So if we just, you know, build a wall, set an edge, track a hip, that's what we talk about. If we do that, we'll be good.
I keep bringing up this quote with you because whenever you said it in Texas, I was like, yes, love that. But whenever you said this, you were saying you can't go to war with people you don't know.
Yeah.
How has that been for you all coming now out of fall camp? You were spending every waking moment together, but for you all, defensive side, specifically the linebackers, how is that coming?
Yeah, I mean, I say that because, we got a lot of new transfers in. So it was just really the culture aspect of it and building relationships with those guys. And like fall camp, we're beside each other all day long. 24/7. So just seeing that come together, definitely as a linebacker group, like we got to eat together. We do everything together. So, the chemistry that we've built together is pretty awesome to see. And it's one of the closest groups I've been a part of, honestly. And, we're looking forward to get out there and playing.